Hey, good morning, everybody. What is good? Morning, Paul. Hey, DRV. Looks like we got ourselves a little bullish range here. Morning, Shada. Hey, Pablo. Good morning. Happy FOMC day to everyone, too, by the way. We should be getting another interest rate cut this afternoon. The market will be waiting on that number. And if for whatever reason rates are not cut today, all hell is going to break loose. But I don't believe that's going to happen. I think the Fed's been pretty clear what their intention is. Good morning, Pete. Good morning, Julian. So it looks like we'll probably open up right around the high from yesterday. That'll be the first key level we're watching. I'm also going to mark yesterday's low. Gonna have to keep an eye on that if we start getting a drop. $47. Yes, happy FOMC day to you. Good morning, Ron. All is well in my corner of the woods. Wish the same for you, my friend. Morning, Ed. Morning, Shell. Pete asking, what is the time frame you're not allowed to trade for take profit? I'm not sure. I'd take a quick look in their FAQ. I mean, the big thing is, like, just don't trade news. Like, if you're not trading news, you won't have to worry about it. Typically, for any prop firms, it's something like 2-3 minutes on either side of the news, something like that. yeah, I would check the FAQ of the specific firm you're looking at. So market is open. Hard to tell because we haven't really moved much, but it is open indeed. And Nasdaq especially looking like a wedge here. Rising lows, falling highs. That's a pretty gross pattern. You don't want to be a part of that. Not going to try to force too much today, given that it's FOMC day. Yeah, pretty likely that we will settle into a range of some sort. As is pretty typical on these days, but if you've been around long enough, you know, you have seen some stuff. I've seen some rallies on FOMC days and some really volatile days, so anything can happen, that's for sure. We're still right in the middle of this congestion, and I am going to put up my trade exchange news feed. There were a couple times yesterday when we got some pretty big volatility spikes. And that could happen again. And Q's starting to move down towards the bottom of that wedge. But don't trust it, guys. That's kind of how wedges work. It looks like you're going to break out one side or the other. Then all of a sudden, you're going out the other side. So let's wait till a legit trend develops. Honestly, if someone told me, like, or if I didn't know the time right now, I'd be like, oh yeah, we're still pre-market. Obviously, the market hasn't opened yet. We haven't gone anywhere. Classic FOMC action, Tom. Exactly. It is indeed. I'm keeping track of this move on NQ. It could get going, could develop into a nice little downtrend, so just watching it. However, at this time, the S&P not moving, or at least not moving down. And here we go, nice little bounce on NQ. That's exactly the kind of stuff you expect to see in a wedge. Like, oh, we're really going somewhere. Look at this move down, and all of a sudden, whoop, sellers trapped. Don't chase stuff in a wedge, that's for sure. S&P hanging right around where it was. J Pablo asking, any news today? Oh, young J Pablo. Yes, there is news today. It's just this little thing called the FOMC. I don't know if you've heard of it. Interest rates expected to be lowered. And the market's been banking on it. I mean, when was the last meeting? Trying to pull it up, but we have gone nothing but up since that last meeting when it was announced that 2 more rate cuts were in store. So the market's banking on a rate cut. If that does not happen for whatever reason, it's going to be crazy. Today is still a doji so far. S&P has not moved anywhere. Nasdaq 2 hanging out right around where it opened. And honestly, guys, like, I'm not going to give this day too long. If we don't get going here in the next half an hour, like, we're just there's no sense in trying to stick it out all the way until the minutes release. Better to go take a break and come back this afternoon. Yeah, thanks for that stat, by the way, Tom. 97.8% chance of a 25 basis point cut. If that doesn't happen, agreed. It will be chaos. Market is banking on it. All right, S&P getting a little push up here, showing signs of life. That uptrend playing out. Now we're challenging the overnight high. Let's see if we can get above it. And just as quick as we were popping up, testing the overnight high, S&P put in a red candle. Archer, I don't know what the heck 2 trades you have taken today, my friend, but that's wild. I can't believe you're trading this already. I'm not seeing anything. Looks like the S&P attempting to make another push up here. Josh asking, is trading after the FOMC news a good idea, or is the market going to be way too whippy after that? I don't know. In general, it's usually fine. Kind of depends on what happens. You know, honestly, if the rate cut happens, you're probably not going to see too crazy of price action. I think we'll just keep going up. But it shouldn't be too volatile, I wouldn't think. If we don't get the cut, it might be crazy. It might be crazy. But then again, like, just because things are moving fast doesn't necessarily mean you should not trade them. So you're just really gonna have to play it by ear. That's what I would recommend. And keep in mind the press conference happens at 2:30. So rate announcement at 2. You're gonna see a reaction from that, and then at 2:30 is the press conference. And if anything is said there that indicates like, hey, maybe we're not gonna cut for a 3rd time this year or something like that, that's when things can get interesting. So I would just watch price action carefully, be aware of the press conference, and if things are flowing, if things are moving nicely, then there's no reason not to trade. Ooh, this is starting to look like a double lower high. With that uptrend played out coming off the overnight high there, I'm considering taking this. See how this bar can close. Just taking it on one contract. Just go for a quick little scalp here. Watching NQ to see if there's any divergence or anything there. It's kind of just hanging out right on the EMA, not moving much. All right, I don't like that bullish close. May scratch out of this if I'm given the opportunity. Whoa. Whoa. That's some news. Got a huge pop on NQ too. Trying to see if there's a news attached to that, but not seeing anything right now. Making another attempt here at breaking through that overnight high. And we do have pending home sales here in about 7 minutes. Another release to be aware of. I don't think it'll be too consequential, but you never know. Still have not technically made a new high there. Back on the NQ. Continuing to rise up. Slowly but surely. There was a second entry long. I wasn't looking at it over here, but did occur right on that spike. Very close to a new high there. And we'll see what happens once we get to that new high, whether, this may be a seller's boycott kind of day where just no one is willing to put on selling positions, which totally makes sense given the pending rate cut. And then we just kind of float and chop higher. Yes, we're just a couple ticks away from the new high there. And same kind of thing. We'll be seeing if the sellers have any juice once this uptrend is played out to push the market down, but kind of suspect that that's not going to happen today. There's the new high on NQ. And on ES. So even if we were trading long, this is the time where we'd have to pause and wait for the market to come in, see what sellers can do. All uptrends played out right now. But if we keep going higher, we'll be looking for a wider pattern. As again, that's pretty possible on a day like today. But definitely not going to be shorting here. It would be tempting to look for a reversal trade, but yeah, I'm going to wait for a solid bias that's obvious to all. Pending home sales in 1 minute now, that could cause a couple volatile bars, and the VIX is at the highs of the day. So interesting, we got rising price but rising VIX. It could be early signs of a drop. Still waiting for the possible correction, and if it doesn't happen here, that is when we are going to start looking for a wide channel, but we got to give it some time first. And the news has come out, not really getting much of a reaction at all. Oh, maybe that's because it didn't. Sorry, it says on my news feed that we're getting that release, but I wonder if, because it says pending home sales are at 0%, so big miss there. But I wonder if that's because they're not actually doing econ releases right now. There's also, I forgot to mention, besides just the FOMC, we have major earnings announcements today too. Let me see what companies. I think like Google today. What do we got? Today's Wednesday. We got Meta, we got Microsoft, we got Google, all reporting, even Starbucks after earnings. So pretty major earnings today, coupled with FOMC too. Okay, starting to get the correction that we would expect. And this is the big moment here. If this does not follow through and we go get a new high, that's when we're going to be looking for a larger uptrend. Look at this move down on NQ. That's a really nice one. Again, we'll want to see some follow through. If shorts cannot push the market down here, then they are pretty much cooked. S&P looks like it may already have a slight little break. We'll see. Still watching if there's any follow through on this move down. I'm liking this move down. It's looking somewhat decent here. This could be it though. We did have a little break and new low. If it keeps dropping, we'll draw it a little wider, but otherwise this looks like it might be done. Oh, dang. Just saw there was a 5.1 magnitude earthquake off the coast of Oregon. I'm in Oregon, guys. I'm an earthquake survivor today. How amazing is that? I just survived an earthquake. Maybe that'll shake things up, said Tom. Nice. All right, we got that little break on this downtrend. Looks like it's headed for a new low. No real way to get in this. We never even got back to the EMA. But that was a good looking move down. Exactly what we would expect after an uptrend is played out. So now we can take a long with a lot of confidence if it sets up. Move down, has a break new low. If we get a push above the EMA, higher low or a double higher low, it'd be a solid long. Nice bar on NQ. Probably a little too big to take, but we'll look now for a higher low or a double higher low. Price action's working out beautifully so far today. Not moving very quickly, but at least it's doing what we would expect. All right, here's a higher low starting to form on NQ. If this ends really bullish, I'll probably take it. We did have a higher low on ES, but it closed below the EMA, so we will look for that double higher low, right? We got one here. If we can push above and get that second one, I will take that long. Here's the second higher low. Unfortunately, it's all below the EMA. Yep, still below the EMA, can't take. NQ also attempting a higher low, but we're getting some rejection at the EMA, and sellers may not be done here yet. So this is pretty slow FOMC action, guys. Yeah, I'm gonna take a break here. This is pretty dang slow. So hopefully we can get some more action leading into the minutes. If not, or not the minutes, but the actual release. If not, I would wait until after 2, and depending on what happens, we might get some better, more fluid price action. And actually, I was just thinking, even if we don't get the rate cut, I don't know there's going to be a massive reaction, because then the market will start looking to the following rate cut that was promised this year. So I don't even know if like not getting the cut is going to trigger all hell. I mean, certainly there'll be a reaction, right? But it might not be as bad as you'd think. Anyway, right now, the only trend we have is a downtrend that just played out, and overall things have been up. So I would be looking to buy once we can get a push above the EMA. We're just not really getting that push yet, so be patient here. Your best bet for this moment is to wait for a long to set up, but if this keeps dropping and turns into a wider trend, then we might have to consider a short. But yeah, stay nimble out there, don't trade too big, and wait till after the FOMC. Don't throw your money away today, guys. Thanks for hanging out with me. See you in the Discord. Hope you're good. Later.